It all kicks off with some bullies swiping the main dude's snack. Total bummer, right? Our guy's like, hey, you can't just jack my stuff. But the girl bullies all, dude, it's the apocalypse. Gotta stock up. And then calls him useless. Ouch. Desperate times call for desperate measures, so he pleads for his bread back. But the bully's like, nah, you're just a noob. Totally pathetic. Harsh. Later, one of the bullies is all. This guy is just a basement dweller, a total stepping stone. Still on the ground, our hero's like, can I just have my snack back, please? The bully's like, not happy with that, and then stomps on his arm with her clog. Rude much? She looks down and says, you're a loser, dreaming of a rich girl. Then she drops the bomb. Ye's picked my bro, so back off or suffer forever. All beat up, our guy's thinking, Lin and Liu, you're gonna regret this. Then, boom, an online game screen pops up, saying he's got mad revenge credits now. Time for payback. He's shook, realizing this rogue system's real, but he's like, I've been humiliated enough, and now this system wants me to stay basic. The system's like, nah, you can hit back, and their anger turns into credits, 100 times over. Reading this, he's hyped about the sweet bonus. Determined, he's like, I'm gonna wreck everyone who dissed me. Then, a woman shows up, asking why he's just sitting there. Annoyed, the redhead's like, dude, you can't fake an injury with ketchup. Our hero steps up, hands her a package, and says, feeling generous today. Chu's totally embarrassed, gets mad, and bam, more credits for him. The system's legit. After gifting more stuff, he asks if it's enough and says, if you got good taste, you'll score even more. The woman thinks he's broke but generous, and asks if the supplies are really hers. As he leaves, the blonde confirms, yep, and if you need more, just holler. Her affection jumps by 20, thinking he's generous and kinda cute. With this affection boost, he scores 58,000 credits. Plus, all the gifts to Chu get reimbursed. Jackpot. Celebrating, he heads into the building and spots two familiar faces. Grinning, he thinks, the ATM's online. The girl sees Chun Yu and asks how he got up there, teasing about elevator issues. The redhead's like, Blondie can't beat the goddess, but Yu's like, not scared of busted shoes. The girl snaps, don't trash talk. You can't have her. Unfazed, he says, I'll let it slide. She's a level A girl. Liu's anger hits level 78. Then, Shu Yao shows up. Our guy blushes cause he moved just to meet her. And it worked. Seeing the goddess, the redhead tries to introduce himself, but she goes to the blonde, asking why he didn't meet her. The bully's like, how does this kid know Chu? The hero invites her to get supplies, but she says prices are crazy high now. Bread's gone from 8 yuan to 160, a 20x jump. In the background, the goth girl chimes in, admit you're broke, stop pretending. The blonde shows off supplies, saying, if you need more, just ask. It's dangerous out there. The goth girl's fuming, asking how he got so much food. Her rage level skyrockets to 113. Alright, buckle up for this wild ride. So the boys all, yo, she aced radiology but can't even argue, what gives? The girl, super annoyed, fires back, loser. How dare you embarrass me like that? Chu, totally unfazed, tells the blonde he's crashing at her place now, cause he needs a bodyguard. The system's like, dude, racked up over 200,000 credits from all this chaos. The girl, all wide-eyed, asks if he's got some magic food trick, but he just dodges the question. With a side eye, she wonders why he's been so chill lately, suspecting he's up to something. Chu slips up, but then he's like, let's cook, I'm starving. The goddess of beauty smirks, seeing the boy resist her charm, making him even more intriguing. But really, he's in the kitchen, relieved he kept his cool. Suddenly, the TV's blaring about a mega cold wave, with wild winds and rain. The hero's face drops, realizing the apocalypse means crazy weather, blackouts, and who knows what else. Boom, the kitchen lights go out. Chu's like, why's the power out now? The cold wave isn't even here yet. A loud knock on the door breaks the silence, claiming it's a neighborhood check. Inside, the red-haired girl tells them to hang on. The guy next to her thinks it's weird, since the last check was just a month ago. She figures it's cause of the water and power issues, but the main dude's not buying it. Her frustration level's rising. Plus, if it was about water or power, the property folks should handle it. Feeling sketchy, the guy grabs a knife, hiding it behind his back, thinking it might be a setup. Peeking through the peephole, he spots some shady figures looking antsy. He decides not to open the door, telling them to bug the neighbors instead. They ignore him, insisting on the routine check. On the other side, they're babbling nonsense. Chen Yu tells the girl to stay behind him, cause without her, no way to boost his credits. Confused, he notices his words made Chu Yaojie like him more. Then, bam, the door's busted open. Not even scared, the fight seems tough. They storm in, aiming to swipe all his stuff to survive. Chen Yu's like, those are offerings for a late family member, but the woman doesn't care. Ticked off, he's not letting them take his grub. With a knife in each hand, he warns the thieves. Everyone's freaked when he slashes the woman's throat. If they want his supplies, they gotta get through him. Panicked, the guys grip their knives, ready to defend. Grinning, the young dude offers mercy, letting them leave with a bag of food. Seeing the situation, they decide to take the deal. Grabbing the supplies, they tell him to know his place in the apocalypse. Turning away, they leave, stoked to snag some bread. But Chen Yu's just messing, not letting them take his meal. He strikes one of the looters from behind. Spotting his move, one defends with a knife. Beside him, the girl's freaking out while he toys with the scene. Holding a knife, the man claims all the food's his. With his powers, the main guy says he can whip up food from thin air. Seeing the fool drop his guard, he quickly moves in. In that moment, he takes down the last threat. While Chu Yaojie screams, he jokes she should save it for later, earning new points. Checking the system, he sees he's only got food and essentials for the girl. Chen Yu's unfazed by offing those committee folks, planning to bury them in the community garden. But his plan's busted by some people at the door. Not backing down, Chen Yu threatens to take them all out. Liu Yi sees how nuts he is, saying she'll call the cops. The main dude steps up, kicking the guy where it counts. Being neighbors during the apocalypse, they figured teaming up was the way to go. But Chen Yu was all about watching the world burn. The girl was fuming when she realized he wasn't sharing his snacks. If Liu Yi wanted anything, she'd have to beg or trade. Everyone was over the endless drama. Out of nowhere, the guards started attacking them. Chu Yaoji, armed with a high heel, was ready to rumble. Chen Yu took down 2 henchmen and charged at the last pair. He called the scared duo trash while sizing them up. Lin sneakily reached for a vase. Annoyed, he threatened to take out the idiot and moved in. But Chen Yu was too sharp and spotted the move. The vase hit the floor and shattered into pieces. After taking out young Master Lin, he promised to teach his wife and sister a lesson. The young woman freaked out seeing the lifeless body. She quickly admitted she was wrong and would do whatever the hero wanted. He spared her and told Liu Yi to scram. Chu Yaoji joked that the hero still had a soft spot for the girl he let go. The rest of the bodies, out the window, as a warning to back off. With a cold wave coming, Wei's bro was on duty that night. Suddenly, someone shouted about bodies everywhere. Wei freaked when he saw his brother among the fallen. He was clueless about how it happened. Young Master Lin was toast, his body on the ground. A corpse rain hit the street, sending people running in panic. Wei's only move was to pass out. After tossing the bodies, Chu Yaojie asked what was next before the cold wave hit. Chill, the hero whipped up a hot meal before checking things out. The system showed 200,000 points unlocked new shop stuff. Chen Yu was hyped for the girl to try his cooking. She was shocked, feeling home vibes even in the apocalypse. But Chen Yu had no time to eat, prepping for the cold wave. He scored more points with Chu Yao, hitting 273,000. Outside, folks were helping Wei's sister, who was out cold. Seeing Chen Yu watching, the boy wasn't thrilled to see him again. The hero asked if they were talking to him. After a joke, he slapped the cheeky kid. Chen Yu spent 100,000 credits to boost his stats, perfect for dealing with punks. Watching, the man was amazed at the hero's sudden strength. On his knees, he begged for mercy, saying choices were slim in the apocalypse. The boy on the ground promised no more jokes and to help if needed. The hero pondered the sibling situation. Sweating bullets, they waited for Chen Yu's decision. Curious, he asked why the water and power were out. They explained the whole building was cut off, and they went door to door swiping supplies. Chen Yu ordered the utilities back on and to bring Lin Beiwei, promising protection. On the couch, Wei's sister woke up as the guys enjoyed a tasty meal. She was clueless about where she was. Seeing the noodles, she wondered about the supply stash. Chen Yu, the food master, waited for Wei to wake up. Annoyed, she couldn't believe her bro was calling a stranger big bro for noodles. She said even if Chen Yu was nice, she wouldn't let her brother hand Yi over. Even for a bowl of noodles, she refused to eat. Her anger points skyrocketed until she tossed the food. Wei demanded she be fed noodles, or her brother would get revenge. Slowly, he set his food pot on the table and grabbed her arm firmly. Unfazed, he tossed her out of his apartment. Chu Yaoji was super worried about leaving a girl out in the cold. Like, who does that? But Chen Yu? Nah, he was chill, not bothered at all. Wei was just standing there, mind blown that the dude could leave her hanging in the hallway. She looked around, and yep, winter had totally crashed the party with snow and all. Banging on the door, she promised Chen Yu her bro would spare him if he opened up. But, plot twist, her bro was already gone, like, ice cold gone. Chen Yu had totally taken out young Master Lin, no mercy. But the girl, she was convinced her bro was A-okay. Then, out of nowhere, a girl in a winter coat opens up and invites Wei inside. Chu Yaojie, peeping through the door, was worried Liu Yi might turn Lin Beiwei against them. One of the guys was like, why not help Wei's sis? She's having a rough time. Wei dashed to her friend's hug, needing some serious comfort. Meanwhile, Chen Yu was plotting his next move, all strategic and stuff. Suddenly, there was a noise at the door. Someone was coming. Suspense. Someone said they were glad Yi knew when to chill out. A voice was like, let Chen Yu in, he's freezing and starving. The girl was on her knees, begging, clutching his clothes, desperate vibes. The woman told Yi not to stoop to that level. It was just about some noodles. Without missing a beat, he told her to back off, like, as soon as possible. The girl kept pleading, saying it was all her bad. She'd be loyal now. But the guy, nope, not buying it, not even a little. His friend was like, there's gotta be another way out of this mess. The woman with the wild hair was losing it, blaming the friend's dead bro for no supplies. The girl was shook to hear that without her bro's cash, Yi would have ditched Chen Yu. To her, the woman and her bro were total trash, deserved what they got. The drama was heating up, like dogs barking at each other. Before it got crazier, the guy dropped 2 bombs. Pointing at Yi, he told her to chill and not be a monster. Pointing at the other, he spilled that he offed her bro, and she didn't even know. Her rage meter hit 578, and she vowed to take down Chen Yu. Before she could get close, he slammed the door shut. After all that, her rage kept climbing, mixed with mega sadness and letdown. Leaving that chaos, he realized the girl was epic, with a temper to match. He racked up 2,272 fury points, now sitting pretty with over 400k credits. His face lit up, realizing he was winning. Fallen girls were the jackpot. His crew, totally confused by his creepy laughs. Pumped, the boss announced they'd party hard that night, drinks on him. But he sensed something off, a weird vibe in the air. Chu Yaoji was like, it's weird the power's out again, and no one's got warm clothes. Probably, the temp was dropping so much it messed with circuits, not the committee's fault. First off, no need to freak out, they still had gas to stay toasty. He checked the system, saw he needed 500k credits to unlock new store stuff. Seeing those big numbers, he thought the woman was silly for not buying warm clothes in summer. Chu Yaoji's fury points shot up, realizing the boss was griping about her. Making her madder, he told her to quit barking. He definitely bought blankets in summer. Thinking the cold got to his head, the crew watched, kind of freaked out. The woman glared with 523 fury points, saying the guy's brains were frozen. With the chaos, the guy realized he was racking up more system points. Ready to roll the dice, he had over 519k credits, unlocking a new category. Chu Yaoji's anger stayed high, saying they couldn't diss her just because she had supplies. Meanwhile, the guy was stacking more points, hitting the jackpot. Then boom, the power came back, and they were saved. After dropping 100k credits, he locked in half a year's worth of bills in one go. With a megaphone, he shouted for all the betrayed wives and scary mothers-in-law to hear his epic revenge plan. Inside the building, some folks were calling him a total idiot and throwing shade. The system showed his fury points were skyrocketing, which was awesome for our hero. That's the thrill of getting rich overnight, baby. Meanwhile, his crew thought his brain had totally frozen over. Checking the system, his credits hit a whopping 836,700. The trio thought the boss had lost it and watched everything like hawks. Ignoring all the questions, he told everyone to hit the hay early. Chu Yaoji was totally clueless about what her Chen Yu was on about. Meanwhile, voices were telling Unit 701 to scram. Now they thought they were toast, losing all hope. But the hero knew all the tricks and wasn't sweating it. Confused, his buddies thought he'd been brainwashed. Outside, a woman dared them to open the door, threatening to smash their power box. That was Sun Shinner, the famous internet celeb. Recognizing the voice, the hero at the door turned on the charm. Annoyed, they told him to cut the nonsense, as soon as possible. But the dude wasn't fazed by his actions or the chaos they caused. Getting super annoyed, the guy decided to smash the power box. With a hammer in hand, he unleashed all his rage on it. The hero watched the scene like it was a movie, doing nada. Sun Shinner warned this is what happens when a loser messes with them. At that moment, the young dude flashed a mysterious grin. Raising his hand, he placed his fingers just right. Suddenly, the dented power box was almost instantly fixed. Everyone around was shook by what just went down. Teasing the guy who wrecked it, he said he was weak and hadn't eaten enough. Not letting it slide, he grabbed his hammer again and whacked the power box. Leaving it totally trashed, he thought it was beyond saving now. His face changed fast when he saw the power box was back to normal. To the hero, that guy was still a total weakling. Hearing his words, the guy shot a furious glare at the hero. Raising his hammer, he aimed to take out Chen Yu first. As he attacked, the hero swiftly dodged to the side. Sticking his foot out, he made the guy trip over his own feet, creating the perfect chance to kick him where it really hurts. The sweat on the guy's face showed all his pain. From then on, he'd be known as the Prince of Emptiness. Fuming, the woman warned that even with power, he'd run out of food and have to shop. Ignoring her, he didn't think that was a big deal. Hearing she was a big influencer, he wasn't scared and offered food to celebrate. Seeing the situation unfold, the two got more desperate, realizing the hero had it all. With her fury growing, Sun Shinner couldn't believe he turned everything into food. Even an influencer with millions of fans didn't have powers like that. While his crew held some grub, the hero kept getting threats. Suddenly, a rain of eggs flew at his opponents. The guy suggested the boy quit that behavior right away. Ignoring him, he grabbed a bowl and bonked him on the head. Losing his balance, he slipped and landed on his butt. After causing a huge scene, he told his crew to get inside the apartment. Now their goal was to take down Chen Yu, no matter how long it took. Hearing the loud banging at the door, they knew it wouldn't be long before they broke in. Checking the system, the warrior decided to unlock a new category with his points. His eyes landed on the notification for the unlocked clothing category. Outside, the rain was pouring hard. Xu Yaoji noticed the acid rain coming, and the guy thought it was the perfect time for a stroll. Placing a hand on his buddy's shoulder, he said the young dude had potential. Handing him a feather jacket, he asked to explore the area together. Pumped, the boy kept asking the boss questions, thinking he might lead some secret group. He opened the door, facing those people from before. Pushing the influencer aside, he told her not to block the way. The girl's anger was clear as she realized he didn't respect an influencer with millions of fans. Looking for some grub, Zhao Tian tried to pin the blame on the woman for all the earlier chaos. Realizing she wants to buddy up with a superpowered dude, the influencer gets super annoyed. Determined, she offers to hang with Chen Yu, asking him to invite her over, promising good food and drinks. Without a second thought, the main guy slaps her. He can't believe she had the nerve to compare him to a regular dude. In a threatening tone, she warns him not to do that again. Not scared of anything anymore, not even her followers, he smacks her face again. Furious, Sun Zinner can't get why he's the only one not trying to impress her like everyone else. Meanwhile, Zhao Tian tries to show he's totally loyal to his new bro, but he ends up getting punched by the blue-haired sidekick. Seeing the chaos, Chen Yu looks around. A voice calls out to someone. Sitting on the ground, Wei looks like she's freezing. The young guy puts his feather jacket on her, listening to her pleas for help. While the girl gets comfort from the young guy, Chen Yu says he'll check outside. The acid rain had already wrecked everything around. The plants and cars were totally trashed, but the hero needed to grab a package at the delivery spot. As he walks through the streets, a woman leaning against the wall calls him with a voice. Determined, he won't fall for that trap. Charming, he decides to talk about the kind of problem the girl is for him. At that moment, a sharp knife is pointed at his neck. Threatening the warrior, she orders him to strip down immediately. But he tries every way to get out of that mess, making the girl more and more annoyed. Looking at her face, he says she's truly something else. Holding her knife tight, she keeps threatening him, saying she'll end him if he doesn't do what she says. Without showing fear, he starts taking off his jacket. Angry, she says if he doesn't have something useful, he can't even talk to her. With a grin, Chen Yu tries to make her even more annoyed. Suddenly, she notices something weird in his hands. The main guy takes his clothes back and tells her to talk to him again when she learns to ask nicely. Looking at her hands, the girl realizes the clothes have totally vanished. With her anger level rising, she charges at the hero with a knife. But he's way faster and grabs her arm with all his strength. He pushes her against the brick wall. Holding her arm, he says she's not qualified. While she says without those resources, Chen Yu's just numbers, lives without value in the apocalypse. She gives him a mission, asking him to hit up the city hospital, rewarding him with 2 packs of noodles. That food would be enough to make him super grateful, as ants were just ants. Not getting all that abuse, the hero punches her in the face. Under the rain, she touches her face bruised by the slap. Her anger level is going through the roof. But the main guy seems not to hear her whining. As the acid rain falls, she calls for Chen Yu. Turning his back, he gives her his address, betting she won't have the guts to show up. At that moment, she thinks she'll get her supplies and make him pay for everything. Returning home, he brings a package in his hands. Sitting on the floor, the influencer waits for Chen Yu to show up. Desperate, she grabs his legs and begs him to accept her, promising to fulfill all his wishes. The moment she realizes he has unlimited supplies, her affection does a 180. Sun Sinner claims she was super ignorant before, but now she'll be the hero's property. Bringing her inside, he tells her to take a bath, not wanting his floor to get dirty. The system shows all the cash and resources spent on the influencer will be reimbursed 100 times for storage. The next category, Fruit Superpower, unlocks with 3 million credits. Chu Yaojie can't believe he went after a simple package, but the boss says he should fetch it. Turning her back, she warns she never said she wanted to marry the main guy. Opening the package, he finds a teddy bear. Jokingly, A Chow says he didn't know the boss had such a soft side. Holding the boy by the neck, the two head to sleep, leaving the main room for Chen Yu. At that moment, it feels like an earthquake is happening. A voice threatens Chen Yu from outside the door, saying it'll end him that night. Seeing everyone looking at him, the boss says he hasn't done anything. Irritated, he tells everyone to sleep immediately. Feeling some headaches, the hero realizes he's not getting any beauty sleep tonight. No way. Chillin' in the living room, she says if the woman could open that door, he'd hand over his base chief badge. No cap. His crew's hyped, totally vibing with the boss. Sun Shinner peeps that the older bros got that special sauce. Plus, he's got mad influence, like top tier, no doubt. Wei tells those two to zip it, giving them a playful smack on the noggin. Sipping some tea, the hero's deep in thought, like, your vibe is your tribe, you feel? Chu Yaoji wonders if they'd let a woman wake up the whole block, even though it's way past bedtime. Annoyed, the warrior says when Notre Dame tried to boot the redhead, he was her ride or die. His rage meter hits max whenever the boss speaks. Rolling up to the door, he punches in the code. Outside, the girl's got a blaster aimed right at him. Holding it steady, she's all, I'll blow your mind, literally. Her choices, take him out or squat up and chase her dreams. Still, she's not ready to ditch her revenge playlist. Right then, the warrior clocks he's dealing with a real firecracker. She shuts the door again, still pondering Chen Yu's epic power block. Throwing in the towel, she's like, I'll let you slide, but next time, you're toast. Opening the door all chill, Chen Yu's like, I'm a man of my word. Roll with me, it's your best bet. But she's got no time for his spiel and decks him in the face. Inside, Chu Yaoji is waiting with a noodle and meat feast. Blown away by Chen Yu's apocalypse stash, she's like, how's this even real? Just then, the blonde rolls up to the MC, saying she's starving. Annoyed, the boy's like, chill, big bro's got you. Hearing this, she's over the moon and gives him a squeeze. Meanwhile, the redhead asks Lin if she's dashing to the city hospital because she's feeling off. The short-haired girl's like, no time to chat, gotta get there before sunrise. Right then, the hero's cooking, but Lin drags him out by the ear. As he's being hauled away, he's like, be right back. And the redhead's like, stay safe. Lounging on the couch, the tough girl's like, no worries, bad weeds live long, and he's tough. Outside, the short-haired girl's like, does this bike even run? Grinning, Chun's like, yep, this baby can handle anything. Annoyed, Lin's like, did you forget evolution? The battery's toast. Hearing this, the blonde's like, you believe in the light. Without missing a beat, she clocks him one. Yelling, she's like, I must be nuts, trusting a robe like you. But the hero fires up the bike and tells her to hop on. Stunned, she's like, why isn't this bike rusted from the rain? Yu's like, my feather jacket blocks acid rain. Duh. Same with the bike. With that, he's like, hold tight, we're going on a wild apocalypse ride. Zhou's thinking, this dude's hyped in the apocalypse. Is he the savior dad mentioned? Right then, the system's like, Zhou lays affection up by 10 points after the romance win. The MC's got a balance of 2,210,000 points. With that, the boy's like, hand over the weapon for a glow-up. The short-haired girl's shook he can level up weapons. In his head, the blonde's like, 100x cashback, and the girl's affection, score. Later, they roll up to the spot and get stopped by some guard. Lei's like, hey, it's me. But the dude's like, don't care. The old man's like, she's got to be carrying all kinds of germs with that look. Chun jumps in, telling the guard to quit the nonsense. The old man's like, got a sharp tongue, huh? Quick as a flash, the hero clocks the guard, dropping him. The blonde's like, must be glycerin enema, and says the dude should act like cannon fodder. Suddenly, a whole squad of guards shows up. Yu's got his weapon ready, claiming he's about to show everyone what a crossfire god can do. He starts blasting at the guards, and they drop like flies, with one even begging for mercy. The main dude just gives him a whack with his weapon, no biggie. They head inside, and Zhou's calling out for old Chin. The old guy calls her Little Rose and wonders how she got there with all that acid rain outside. Annoyed, she tells him to chill and asks about the experiment's progress. Meanwhile, the main guy's trying to get the nurse to check him out. His buddy yanks his ear, saying he's asking for trouble. The nurse chimes in, saying the apocalypse just kicked off and survival's the real deal. Chin's all, not many young folks are as skilled as Chongwei, and the lady says he's got mad resources and connections. The blonde jumps in, asking if that trash is gold-plated, and the nurse wonders if he's jelly. She spills that her Chongwei's got all the goods and says the young dude's just trying to get close to her sis for them. The blonde's like, you two are peas in a pod. Lei jokes that Chun even buys meat noodles at home, not just plain bread. The nurse can't believe it, saying resources are locked down and the bosses hoarded everything. The blonde's like, you're living in the past. The old man asks if the main guy's with the government or a businessman, and he says nope. The girl in pink tells her grandpa to stop asking, saying the boy's just a troublemaker. Lei tries to back him up, but her sis says she's just jelly, cause Chongwei didn't pick her. Out of nowhere, Chun slaps the nurse, cranking up her anger by 558 points. He keeps slapping, making her even madder. On the ground, she says her Chongwei's with the Haoe group, but the main guy's not bothered. Then, the man shows up, and his wife spills the tea. He's mad, asking who messed with his wife, and she points at the blonde. Her hubby orders his goons to beat the kid, but they hurt their hands punching him. The nurse, fuming, tells them to finish the boy off. One dude grabs a knife, but Chun kicks it away like a boss. The leader's ticked, calling his goons useless. Lei tells Chongwei he only got close to her sis for the experiment data. The nurse disagrees, saying her hubby truly loves her. The main guy grabs the data, saying he'll hand it over if they spare them. The girl can't believe the kid's that type of person. The leader's like, deal. The nurse calls the kid a coward. No surprise, he's with her sis. In the background, the younger sis is fuming, planning to deal with Chun Yu if they make it. With the papers, the leader says they're out. Joe's grinning, saying she's not in love, and she and her hubby have always been the same. The woman says some folks aren't meant for riches, and the main guy starts mocking her. The nurse, annoyed, asks her hubby to act, and he sends his goons again. The main guy asks for a timeout. The woman wonders if he's scared, but he says he hasn't felt fear since the apocalypse hit. Zhou Qiang's done, saying the experiment data's with them and the boy won't keep up the tough talk. The main guy shows the data's gone from the group. The leader's shocked, and his wife tells the goons to fix it. Chun starts burning the files, telling everyone to chill. The group freaks out, and the blonde ties them up. Lei's raging, asking if the kid knows what he's doing since the files are crucial. He grabs her shoulders, asking if she believes in the light, and she says yes. The kid laughs, saying she believes in something so silly, making her even angrier. The system says 4,695 anger points are racked up, swapped for the host's private stash of 469,000. The main dude tells his buddy not to stress. He's got the whole genetic experiment thing covered. An old dude, super curious, asks if the young guy's a medical whiz. Tied up, the nurse starts roasting the old man's question, saying she and her hubby could have passed on this tech. The MC rolls up, telling the woman not to go wild just because she's got a brain glitch. She gets mad, but the main guy jokes he's had his rabies shot, so he's not scared. Keeping the roast going, Chen says she's got weak mental game and gets ticked off easy. Proving the point, her anger levels keep going up. In his head, Zhou's I'll take down the kid when Hao Ye's crew shows up. Meanwhile, in the apartment, the blonde asks if Chu's been losing sleep. The redhead's like, yeah, couldn't sleep. And Zinner says not to worry. Chen Yu's a beast. Out of nowhere, Yao bolts out of the house and vanishes. At the same time, in the lab, Chin asks if the kid can really evolve genes, and he just says, chill. Then the kid's like, breakfast time, and poof, supplies everywhere. The nurse's jaw drops, wondering how, since all the supplies were locked down. Trying to survive, the leader's like, I'll do whatever the kid wants. The nurse jumps in, saying she's down for anything too. She brags she can do more than her sis, and the MC's like, prove it. Lei jumps in, saying the blonde shouldn't mess around cause Qingwei's still a threat. Grinning, Chen says not to worry, they'll squash these pests in one go. The girl argues, saying the Haoye group's young master is a martial arts pro and dangerous. Suddenly, someone yells, demanding the genetic data or the hospital's toast. A purple-haired dude warns they've got 30 seconds. A green-haired kid asks why they don't just attack. The boy's like, want to end up like them, and says Supervisor Lee's already on it, adding they'll look like wimps. The third chief calls him a dummy. Watching from the window, Lei says Xiao Bai is down there and will stall them. The MC's I'm eating first, leaving his partner fuming because it's way past breakfast, and her anger spikes by 245 points. Old Chin says Xiao needs him because the data's toast, and he'll stall them so the duo can bounce. Tied up, the leader demands freedom, but the MC just kicks him in the face, no biggie. The nurse yells for the young master, saying she's in the third-floor lab. Hearing this, the green-haired kid says it's Meower's voice and they gotta save her. But the third master just slaps his guy and orders explosives. The MC pops up, saying the Howie group's young master is super decisive. Ticked off, the Howie leader orders the kid to tell his master to hand over the data or get ready to die. The blonde's totally confused. The third master says only 3 people in Jiang could solo so many folks, but the hero's like, I did it, and the boss punches him. The MC quickly steps back, and the kid says showing off in the apocalypse is dumb. With a wild look, the purple-haired guy asks if the young man wants to die. Meanwhile, Zhou Lei says she'll help her friend, but old Chin says Yu's not your average Joe, and won't waste his life. The leader tells the old man to rewrite the data, and the nurse tells her sis to chill and admit her mistake. The girl asks if Xiao Baiye would be into her, and she says yep, smiling. The nurse says her suitors could reach Shang Jing. The girl just says the woman's standards are low, making her super mad. Outside, the third boss starts beating up the hero. He says the boy's moves aren't bad, but he should chill if he doesn't want to be toast in 3 moves. Grinning, the MC says 3 moves are all he needs to handle everyone. Right then, one of the sidekicks gets all salty and charges at the boy, but Zhu Lei jumps in to save the day. She takes a hit and ends up crashing on top of her buddy. Seeing this, the third boss asks if the kid's hiding behind a girl to solve his problems. The henchmen start calling the kid a coward for hiding behind a girl. Annoyed, the girl says Xiao Baiye is someone the hero can't handle and shouldn't flex. But Chen tells her to move, and hearing that, the girl just bounces. Then, the boss sends his goons after the blonde. With a look of pure rage, Yu just asks the system to handle it. Out of nowhere, someone rolls up in a car. It's a woman who starts nagging Xiao, making him squirm. She's Gao Zihao, the eldest daughter of the Gad fam, one of the big 3 in Jiang. Seeing her, the hero wonders why she's so mad, like 10 times the usual. At this point, Lei gets mad and asks where Chen's eyes are. Then, the blonde introduces herself to the hero, and her friend, all jelly, calls him a creep. Suddenly, old Qin shows up. Gao tells the old dude it's a pleasure to meet him and says his genetic mod skills are lit. She says this tech could change the apocalypse if shared, and Chen asks if it needs to go to the Gao fam. Zhou explains her fam's got a killer genetic research team with all the gear and tech. Smirking, the blonde asks why her fam doesn't just DIY it, and this comment cranks up her anger points. Now, the Harris asks the son to think about it and says her fam's the best choice to serve anyone. Jumping in, the MC says she's talking to the wrong person, which makes her even more ticked off. Then, the old man says the genetic mod tech he cooked up is kinda janky. Suddenly, the purple-haired bully pops up and asks if they're done chatting. The blonde asks what he means, and Xiao demands they hand over the genetic mod data. Gao says the dude wants it all, and he says all families will have to kiss his boots if he gets it. At this point, Yu says the boss is full of himself and claims he's got backup from the Animal Association. Hearing this, Xiao pulls a gun, saying he's not a veggie, and he's had enough of the kid. Fuming, the boss orders his goons to toss everyone into the building, and they do. Zhou says Chen's making Xiao ditch everyone to keep the research, but her sis says his brain's not that deep. Now, old Qin says he trusts Chen's skills to get them out safely. With no other choice, the Harris just trusts the old dude's word. Meanwhile, Xiao lights up a bomb outside. He chucks it at the building, and boom, it explodes. Grinning, the man says the kid won't awaken, since he can't either. Then, one of the sidekicks asks if that's enough, and the boss says they use tons of explosives, but someone shows up in the background. It's the hero, who says the man shouldn't mess with fire. In shock, Xiao wonders if this boy's a monster. Now, Zhou tells the boss he's lost, but he says she's underestimating him big time. Gao asks if they think they can handle them with just a few weapons, but she whispers to the MC and asks if his mana bar has no cooldown, and he says he doesn't know. Hearing this, the girl is shook and loses all her confident vibes. Then, Xiao orders his goons to shoot. In his mind, the blonde knows there are too many weapons and he can't escape. Determined to risk it, he uses his power to turn the goons' weapons into toy guns. Seeing this, the third boss gets all jittery and confused. Then, someone yells that the weapons are with them. It's Wei's bully with her crew. Quickly, the hero hops in the car, and everyone bails. Inside the car, one of the kids warns that acid rain's coming. In a funny and wild way, a bunch of people are crammed in the car, including the hero who tells the driver to head to school. Hearing this, everyone starts freaking out because that place is a no-go zone packed with zombies. Grinning, the boy tells them to floor it. The blonde, totally ticked off, says it's a danger zone, and if he wants to get chomped, he should go solo. Then the bully mentions the acid rain's here, and the old dude's all impressed that you kept the car in one piece. The hero's like, no way he can do this apocalypse thing alone, so he's gonna help everyone level up to protect their peeps. At the elementary school, a demon kitty sneaks up on 2 kids. It pounces, but Wei smacks it down hard. The main dude says no one needs to sweat zombies with this lady around. Chen asks what the bully's superpower is, and she jokes about being unbeatable at marbles. Turns out, with this power, Wei's got infinite marbles, and it boosts other skills too. A little kid asks if she's here to save them, and she says yep, as long as the kid listens. Then the bully asks if he's seen a kid named Chen Yuqing from class 1, 3rd year, and the little guy says nope. Suddenly, someone starts shouting, and the woman says she'll check it out. She kicks the door open, making a grand entrance. but it's just a bald kid trying to show off for a girl, annoying his buddy. Later, the ex-bully asks about Chen Yuqing. The teacher says they've been stuck since the world went bonkers and the cafeteria has been empty for ages. She explains that some folks and zombie critters crashed the place this morning, turning the school into chaos. After getting the lowdown, the bully bolts out and tells Chow to keep watch. In another room, she finds the main dude smacking some random guy. Curious, Wei asks about the guy getting clobbered, and the boy starts explaining. 10 minutes ago, the hero was hunting for Xiao Qing when a dude approached him. The blonde says he's Yu Qing's brother and wants to take him home, but the random guys all prove it. Confused, the hero says he checks for his brother at school every week and asks if the guy doesn't know him. But the random dude says he can't let the kid go with just anyone unless he proves it. With arms crossed, Yu says that's sketchy and no kid can stay unless he proves he's a teacher. Then the random guy asks the kids to say who he is, and they all shout, "Teacher, Zhao." Grinning, the guy tells the kid to scram. But the MC says that doesn't prove anything since he doesn't buy that he's Xiao Qing's brother. Hearing this, the guy gets mad. But the boy jokes maybe he's not Professor Zhao, but a mutant with brain freeze. With a serious face, the hero tells the guy to call his mom to prove it or he's gonna get wrecked. Ticked off, the teacher charges, but his punch gets blocked like it's nothing. The hero then tells his brother to hide well, and the kid says he's already hidden. Shaking with fear, the teacher begs the kid not to do this. But his plea gets cut off by a massive punch from the MC, sending him flying. Just then, Wei shows up asking if the hero buried his sister alive, but the kid pops up and calls for her brother. They run to each other and hug, and in the background, the bully jokes that her brother's celebration isn't even over. Yu then asks about Gao Zhihao and the others, and Wei says he doesn't know, but guesses Gao's teaching zombies how to read. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the school, the Harris is roasting a zombie, saying he's a rookie making dumb survival choices. Holding out her hand, she says she'll watch the monster's makeover. From a distance, the bully says the mental strength of a rich girl is scary stuff. Laughing, Chen says it's just like Tang Sazang. This makes the woman furious, and her rage meter shoots up over 6,000, leading to chaos. At this moment, the teacher comes over and asks if they're all superpowered. While yanking her friend's ear, the Harris says yep, and tells everyone to bounce out of there as soon as possible. The woman starts thanking the squad, but the kids all, no biggie, just here for my sis, not to play hero. Gao's curious if you didn't milk the moment, then bam, the system's like, congrats, you just scored 10 million. He's just staring, thinking, cha-ching, unloaded. Then, the glasses lady gets it, but she's still super grateful for their help. One of the crew's like, aren't we gonna look after the kids? But the MC's all, dude, there are tons of kindergartens around. The Harris agrees, saying it's sketchy after dark, and the bald dude suggests giving the teacher a fruit. Then, the bully's like, shush, everyone, and the blonde's just watching, thinking this guy's something else. Suddenly, an alarm blares. Gao's like, that's the danger alert, monsters are close. Peeking outside, Wei's like, acid rain's still pouring. Guess we're crashing at school. With that, the main dude's like, first move, clear out all the hidden threats. The bully's all, I'll handle the middle floors, my marbles never miss. Meanwhile, the Harris is like, the Gao fam will find us soon. Everyone's battling zombie critters. The main guy's like, I'll grab old Chin, then lock the school up. Surprisingly, the old dude's chill, using his tablet while a zombie's banging on the window. The MC swoops in, takes down the zombie, no sweat. Getting out, Chin's like, kids got energy. Guess the school crisis is sorted. Later, they hit the school, and the main guy's like, this is totally the nurse's doing. She comes over, saying the first floor is clear, only 5 kids made it. The blonde asks Gao if they can bust out, and the Harris is like, only a 30% shot, and the hero's pumped. The woman flips, warning that's the best case scenario. The little kid's like, my bro's the best, I believe in him. Even as a kid, Gao's yelling, don't just trust blindly, everyone's life counts. The redhead's like, what's the survival odds if we crash here? The rich girl says, 100% if we're not found, 0 if we are. Grinning, the main guy's like, this is thrilling. Shinner asks if it's really 0 with skills, and the other blonde's like, yup, same if we bolt. Hearing this, the almost bald dude's stressing. The hero's hyped, asking what monsters are around and what they munch on. Chin's hopeful, saying Chen might have a plan, but Chen's like, nah. But the kid's like, maybe there's a way. He wonders what's next to unlock, and the system's like, genetic mods. Duh. Lin's annoyed, grabs him. Spill it, stop the suspense. Holding the girl's hand, the main guy's like, chill, I'll do something epic tonight. Later, at dusk, the boy whips up a feast. He serves his adorable sis with care. After eating, the squad gears up for battle. Looking back, the MC's like, the VIPs are here. Zombies start closing in. Chen's bummed, my meat's not done yet, and the redhead's like, we can't just wait to get munched. Chin raises his hand, I can wait, my meat's not done either. The old guy's like, I trust Chen Yu, he'll cook it right. Grinning, the boy's like, thanks, old dude's got taste. The blonde smacks the boy's head, spill the plan, no one's got extra lives here. The MC asks the old guy how full he is, and Chin's like, about 60% satisfied. Switching up his vibe, the hero says that hot wine was served to take down Hua Sheng, and today, he's serving up monster meat. The blonde sends Zhou Lei to check out the enemy, but no fighting, and asks Fei to whip up some fog. He mentions that both Wei and the influencer are area of effect types, and they should chill until the monsters hit the playground. The Harris chimes in, saying she's area of effect too, but the MC says she's the secret weapon, saved for the big moment. Meanwhile, the redhead says she's support and will plan once Zhou Lei is back. Then the leader tells Fei to stick with Chu Yao wherever she goes, and the kid asks what the hero's plan is. With a spooky grin, Yu says he's going to welcome his guests. Outside the school, a zombie pops up. The protagonist rolls up and lands a solid punch, but then, the zombie gets smacked by a marble from afar. Wei tells everyone to quit clowning her. With arms crossed, the influencer says the monsters aren't too bright, and Miss Gao was overreacting. The redhead disagrees, saying it was Fei's smoke that saved them, or else zombies would have crashed the party. While they bicker, a zombie crawls and starts burning. Seeing this, the girls tell the blonde to bounce. Suddenly, a loud noise freaks everyone out. Gao gets mad and calls the protagonist a dummy. Lei says she'll help, and the blonde jokes it's cool if she wants to risk it, just don't drag others down. Annoyed, Zhou asks what she means, and Gao explains that even Xiaobei's explosives couldn't stop the kid. Her partner shrugs it off, saying Zhiyu shouldn't act spoiled, it's the apocalypse. Hearing this, the blonde just thinks about how the boy survived those explosives, so he's probably fine. Out of nowhere, a door blows up with a bang. The trio of girls watches from the balcony and sees it's Zhou Lei. Chu says she needs to go down, but Wei tries to stop her, saying that guy's like an immortal cockroach. Grinning, the influencer agrees and says the big bro won't let anyone down. Worried, the redhead just watches, hoping her friend stays out of trouble. Outside, the boy starts coughing from the smoke. The protagonist jokes that some monsters eat raw, but this one wants a BBQ. Hearing this, Fei says the kid's definitely boss material. The hero keeps going, saying a small step for the zombie is a giant leap for monster kind. Everyone's shocked as Chun Yu's just chilling in the smoke, laughing. Embarrassed, Lei asks if he's cold. He gets confused, then realizes his clothes are gone. Quickly, he gets dressed, and more zombies show up. Zhou says building security is key, so she's out. Seeing the zombie horde, the redhead wonders if Chen Yu can handle it. On the balcony, Wei gets ready to toss more marbles. A zombie sneaks up on the protagonist and makes a stinky attack. The zombie freaks out from the boy's smell. Mockingly, Yu says he's been eating well, making the zombie mad. Then the kid asks Sinner to do her thing, and Wei covers his ears. With a megaphone, the influencer starts spewing nonsense like it's swear words. The zombies get dizzy from it. Covering his ears, the kid says it's awesome, but some zombies start figuring out where the voice is from. Worried, the socialite asks what Chen Yu's up to. Chin says all the monsters from the restricted zone are heading their way. Fei's worried, trying to protect his boss's sister. He kneels and tells the little girl he's going to help Sister Chu Yao and asks her to go back to the room. Giving a lollipop, the little girl says he better come back safe. Smiling, the kid declines, saying he doesn't eat kid snacks, but thanks her for the thought. Worried, the redhead says more monsters are coming. Feeling the opposite, Shear's all chill, saying Chen Yu's got it under control, but Wei's like, nah, dude's a walking chaos magnet. Meanwhile, one of the crew's chilling with his boss, who's all, you scared of kicking the bucket. The almost bald guy's like, nah, that's bad juju, and the main dude's like, hey kid, get back here. While puffing away, the henchman's all, without the squad, I'd be toast, and these epic skills, forget it. Snatching the cig, the hero's like, dude, smoking's a health hazard. As this life lesson's dropping, a zombie horde's creeping up. Hands in pockets, the MC's like, don't mess with my cool, handsome vibe. Then the henchman's like, I'm sticking close to the boss from now on. Grinning, the hero's like, system, do your thing. And bam, he racks up 43,000 anger points, swapping them for some epic upgrades. He unlocks genetic mods, light powers, and eco-domain, no biggie. With a spooky vibe, the kid's like, tonight's gonna be chill. Quick as a flash, the hero whips out some power-ups. He downs them, and boom, he's glowing like a Super Saiyan. From a distance, Xiang's like, what's the kid up to? With a fierce look, the blonde's like, don't care who the zombie was before. Then he hurls an edible marble at the monster with all his might. Jealous, Wei's like, hey, that's my move. Right then, the hero's fists spark up, and he lands a mega punch on a zombie. Amazed, Faye's like, whoa, that's my power. Looking back, Yu's like, I can see their weak spots now. He zooms towards the zombies, taking them down like it's nothing. Surprised, Yao's like, does Chen Yu have all the powers? Just then, Lei's like, boss, watch out, as a zombie charges. But the kid spins around, smacking it down while giving it a lecture. Annoyed by the unfair play, the blonde's gearing up for a bigger hit. With one punch, he sends zombies flying. One Punch Man style. Shocked, Zhao's like, that strength's insane. Wei's like, show off, and the redhead's like, didn't see that coming. Checking things out, Gao's like, being this famous will catch the big guy's eyes, and Qin's like, Chen Yu's got his reasons. Suddenly, the influencer's phone buzzes, and she picks up. At dawn, the hero finally takes down the last monster. Then the blonde rushes over, saying there's drama in the West District, asking him to tag along. Mockingly, Yu's like, is the Gao fam in trouble? What's it to me? Ignoring him, the woman just yells for him to come. So, the squad bounces from school, heading west. Later, Chen's vlogging, calling himself a charming power user, and more. He spills about the trash system he stumbled on, saying he can buy anything from its store. The kid can earn big if he annoys trashy girls or woos goddesses. His crew's got Zhou Lei, who's all about brawling, and Lin Beiwei, the ex-bully. Also in the mix are Fei, Chu Yao, the redhead, and Sun Shinner, the influencer. Wrapping up with Gao Jiu from a rich fam, and his sis, Chen Yuqing. Right then, old Qin's like, time to roll out. Yu's like, oh yeah, old Qin, the genetics whiz. Now the blonde's wondering if it's monsters or people causing chaos in the West, where the Gao fam's at. Soon, they're stopped on the road. A blue-haired woman rolls up, and the blonde spills her identity. Major Jiang's like, there's still monsters in the city, so I'll escort the young lady back for safety. She clears the way, and Gao's like, thanks. Suddenly, the blonde hops out, telling everyone to hang on. He's suspicious of the kindness, asking if they're being sent to their doom. Confused, the major's like, who's this kid? Then, his crew rolls up and introduces him as the big boss, the ultimate, unbeatable power user in the whole universe. Hearing this, the woman gets super annoyed, wondering where this clown even came from. The hero chimes in, saying he knows she's throwing shade, and the major warns he's playing with fire. The officer tries to land a punch on the kid, but he blocks it like it's nothing. With a smirk, he asks if she'll give him her digits if she loses. But the major just fires a shot with her other hand, dropping the leader to the ground. Jiang tells the boy to ask the king of hell for that kind of favor. Looking down, the major says this is what happens when you mess around. Seeing this, Gao calls out to Jiang Ling, asking how she dared. The officer snaps back, saying she's a major in the army, not Gao's personal bodyguard, so she doesn't have to listen to the spoiled brat. Chu Yao jumps in, saying the woman can't just off people like that, even if she's military. Jiang shrugs it off, not bothered at all. Someone says this is a total mess and that people can't control everything. The military backs this up, saying no one can stop her if she decides to take someone out. Switching gears, Jiang tells Gao the president's waiting. The influencer says there's something fishy about this woman and they shouldn't go with her. The major says she has no clue what that coward Xiao Baiye was thinking. She grumbles about how unlucky it is to be sent to catch people like this group. Grinning, the protagonist says it was a solid show of military muscle, and the woman is shocked the kid's still kicking. Chen copies her shocked face, making her even madder. With her gun ready, she says the boy thinks he's all that just because he's got some powers, and that's just dumb. Jiang says the third master, Xiao, mentioned that if they can't capture people alive, they might have to take them out. Fearless, the hero says the major's just become someone else's lapdog. The woman gets ticked off and tries to shoot, but the boy dodges it. She and her crew start blasting, but the protagonist dodges all the bullets like he's in a video game. Soon enough, the military realizes she's out of ammo. Yu steps up, saying she can yell all she wants, and his words get under her skin again. With no other option, Jiang charges in for a fistfight, but the boy dodges again. After dodging another hit, the protagonist says Xiao sent the military officer to handle his crew. Nervous, she realizes she almost fell for Xiao Bai's trap. Gao jumps in, saying there's a traitor in the west and Major Jiang came to meet the crew and take out the traitor. Hearing this, the military officer says she's ready to serve the young lady, and she and her crew kneel. Confused, the hero wonders if this kind of thing is just for the main character. Wei asks what he's whining about, and Chen says some folks are just gonna have bad luck. Meanwhile, Xiao tells the head of the Gao family that Jiu's being a bit harsh and he should make the right call for her. Someone mentions the crew doesn't want to mess up again and asks where the young lady is. The purple-haired kid says he's been pulling all-nighters, messing up his hearing and memory. Suddenly, someone kicks the door open. It's Major Jiang Ling, reporting for duty. One of the guys is ticked off, asking what an army person is doing here. Right then, Jiu shows up too, shoving the bully with all her strength. He gets mad, saying he's not scared of her anymore, but she just slaps him silly. Fuming, Xiao calls her a fox and tells the fox to tie up the blonde and take her away. Grabbing her weapon, the military officer says the plan's perfect and she's not a vegetarian either. Without noticing the weapon aimed at him, Xiao keeps laughing, saying he's gonna have a blast today. But then he spots the weapon and asks why the major's pointing a gun at him. In the background, the protagonist arrives to mock him again. Seeing the blonde, Bai curses him out, calling him a jerk and saying Jiang Ling betrayed him. Grinning, the MC says sorry, claiming he's a nice guy, unlike those who think they'll live forever. The bully soon realizes he's being roasted, much to the hero's delight. Suddenly, the villain bursts into this wild, evil laugh, asking if they really think they're the only ones with powers. Gao's all like, whoa, you found other power peeps. With a grin, Xiao tells the blonde to be his girl, promising safety for her fam. In his head, the hero's like, are there more power folks? Am I the only one with a system? Then, he gets this idea to bluff, claiming he's the only one who can grow ability fruits, asking if the master got his brain fried in the explosion. The bully takes the bait, laughing, saying Chen Yu must have swiped ability fruits and is just faking being strong. He boasts he'll find a power user, so his fam will have all sorts of abilities. The crew's bummed, realizing the bully's just bragging about stuff that didn't even happen. Jumping in, Gao's dad asks his daughter about the blonde dude. She says he's Chen Yu, a delivery guy from Jiangcheng. Hearing this, her dad's all silent. Gao argues he saw the kid use powers and got abilities cause of him. The man questions keen about giving tech to a regular dude instead of his fancy fam. The old man tries to explain, but the guy's like, just off the kid, he's a test subject. Jihao tries to argue, but her dad cuts her off, saying she shouldn't pity a low-class guy. The girl insists that's not it, and her dad gets all annoyed, asking if she's crushing on the delivery dude. The blonde denies it, saying he's still confused. With no time to waste, the man declares he'll take out the kid. The blonde pleads with Master Gao not to be rash, explaining they're all on the same team, but the man disagrees. The family head says the kid's just a delivery guy. Even with powers, it's like a blind cat finding a dead rat. Xiao agrees, saying they can hire another power user to squash him. In this mess, the family head orders his crew to strip the boy of his powers and toss him out. But the old man steps in, saying the head can't do that. Arguing, the man tells Qin not to sweat it. He's got loads of test subjects. The old man explains the head's got it wrong, revealing he hasn't figured out how to get powers yet. Hearing this, the family head's brain starts ticking. Being real, Qin says Chen Yu might be the only one who can grow skill fruits. Everyone's shocked and freaked out by this bombshell. In a mock-dramatic way, Yu says he couldn't join the Gao fam as just a regular dude. Switching gears, the family head starts calling the boy his son-in-law, embarrassing his daughter. One henchman calls the blonde bro-in-law Chen, saying they're all one big fam now. Yu jokes that the family's standards are sky-high, so he's scared of a big fall. His new bro-in-law assures him he won't fall, promising to have his back. But the hero says that's not enough, hinting the family head's a secret genius. The blonde gets annoyed, saying the boy's showing off just because he earned a bit of respect. The henchman chimes in, agreeing with the bro-in-law, saying he can set any condition. The hero's face lights up, asking if he really can. The head says he can, as long as it's something the Gao fam can handle. The hero starts eyeing the blonde, making her squirm. Without a second thought, he says he wants the head's daughter to marry Bai. The purple-haired guy drops to his knees, begging his future father-in-law to say yes. Embarrassed, Jihao asks if Chen Yu's got a death wish. Nervous, the boy says it was just a joke, telling her not to take it seriously. The head cuts to the chase, asking what it'll take for the hero to join the Gao fam. No cap, Chen's all about saying he ain't down with gambling or drugs, and the boss better catch his drift. Hearing this, the dude gets all hyped up, like he's just found out pizza's free. Xiao's on his knees, telling the blonde that the kid ain't worth her trust, like, at all. But Jihao's just like, yo bully, vanish. Then one of the hero's crews all, why not take over the west side instead of working for Mr. Grumpy? MC's got a plan though, making them think everything's chill so they drop their guard, sneaky sneaky. His buddy's like, that's offering to the night, but the kid's like, nah, it's hiding our power, waiting for the perfect moment. The Gao family bosses all maybe later, but Chen's like, how about now? With a vibe darker than a goth's wardrobe, the kid's like, I want the old man's seat. Hearing this, the dude's face goes from 0 to, did you just say that? Real quick, calling the kid cheeky.
Guys, that's the end of the video. If you like this video, please leave a comment in the comment section Also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Like the video and share it too. Thank you for watching and see you next time again.